we're going to show how to create a splash page from scratch. First thing we do is go to the Splash Page Studio, and it's a four-step process. What we do is we fill in the first page, first step. If you want to change the background images, you can click on this background image link, and there are over 5,000 backgrounds that you can select from, and they've been broken down into different styles, different folders. So let's say, for instance, we want to look at the bricks. We select one, have a look at it, and all you need to copy is the file name, and you would paste it into the background image text box, and there you go. You've had the backgrounds changed. Put in a title and a target URL. You have a choice of two types of opt-in. One is an instant access, which is just a button. When you click, it'll bring you to your target URL. The other one is an opt-in, which allows you to capture name and email. In this particular case, we'll select opt-in. If you have your own banner, the page type you should select is a single column, which we have as a default. And in this particular case, the default for headers and footers is the no header and no footer. What that means is that there'll be a placeholder for your banner within the page, but nothing else. So we go on to step 2. In step 2, you would select the type of opt-in box that you want to put on your page. You have quite a few choices, and there will be more added later. In this particular case, we'll just select a very plain opt-in. Now we go on to step 3. Step 3 involves adding elements to the page. Now we have about 8 elements here. There'll probably be another 24 or so added to this as I work them out. What an element is just a snippet of code, HTML code, that basically describes, like a text box or a placeholder for a video, or in this particular case we have a profile image which you can add to this. A testimonial, different types of testimonial boxes, or bonus box. So in our particular case, we have something which is like a pseudo splash page, and your elements are added into this box so you can see where they place. And so what we're going to do is we're going to select, for instance, we're going to brand this with our own image. As you can see, it was the first one put in, and it's between the header and the opt-in, which is at the bottom. We want to add a plain text box. As you can see, it's been added. We want to add perhaps a fancy text box. Now if you want to know what these look like, all you have to do is click on the image, and it should come up and it'll show you basically what it looks like. So we will select another image. We may want to add some images, and this is just a placeholder for where an image is going to go, and when we edit the page you'll see what I mean. So we'll add a few of these. As you can see, it's been put in there. We'll add another one. So So we now have two. And we're going to add a video iframe. Okay, so those are all the elements that we want to add to our page. Now, you can move these elements up or down. For instance, if I wanted to move that element between these two images, I just click the up button and it moves it up. Now again, these are just placeholders. When we get into the actual editing of the page, you can actually do some more tweaking there. So what we'll do is we'll now go on to step 4, which is the final step. In this particular step, you are now into the splash page editor itself. Now, in order to conserve space, it's basically been minimized here. So if you want to maximize this, there are two ways of doing it. One is to double click in this area. Okay. And it'll bring it up like that. Or if you want full screen, you just click on this maximize icon right here. And now you're basically into full screen mode. And notice that for a banner, your header, there is an image placeholder here, and for your footer, there's one here. Let's add a particular image that we want. So basically, let's get out of full screen editor. Let's go to the image gallery, and I have an image here that I want to use, this 10K hits banner. Okay. In this case, I copy the entire URL because in a splash page, all links have to be absolute. I would then go back into my editor, go to the image here, double click it, and it brings up the image properties. In this box, in the URL box, I would paste that image there. I can then I can use the default size, or I can actually make this large and make it the full size of the splash page. In this case, splash page maximum size is 700 pixels. So there you go. So now I have my header. You do the very same thing for the footer. And there you go. You now have a, okay, I put it in the wrong place. We'll put it in the right place. There we go. Here, we'll just get rid of it. And now we can start modifying some of the elements that are in here. Again, you can add elements. If you wanted to add a video to this, you double click it, you put in the URL for the video that you want. I don't have any video in mind, but you would actually you can go to YouTube and find the URL that's part of the embed code, and you would put it in here, and you would give it a width and height and hit OK, and you will have your video in your box here. And that's about it. You can modify any piece of this that you want. Once you're satisfied with the way it looks, oh, by the way, if you want to view this in what it would look like in a browser, this is the preview icon here. Click on that, and it basically shows you what your web page is going to look like. Once you are satisfied with the way your page looks like, you can create it. Now, you don't need to be 100% sure. I mean, you can set some stuff up and change it at a later time. So let's say we want to save this. It will now bring you to your Manage Splash Pages, and this is the web page that the splash page that we just created. Now, there's no URL, and the only thing you can do with this is basically edit it. Okay, if you're satisfied with the way it looks, you can publish it. Publishing it means that it creates the actual file on the internet and hosts it at Extreme Surf Team. So in this particular case, we're going to accept it the way it is. So we just click this button, and now we've got a URL created. And by the way, this is a cloaked link. So if you want to see what it looks like, you can click that link, and there it is. It's actually published on the internet. It's that quick. If you want to change it, and this is what you'll be doing, is basically changing it, you can now go to Edit, and you can then change some of this text, or do whatever you want. You can add more elements if you want. In order to be able to add elements from within a text box or a splash page, you basically have to tell it where you want your elements to go. Let's say, for instance, we want to add elements here between this plain text box and this fancy box. You would type this in. Center elements with the square brackets, double square brackets on either side. If you don't have that in the page where you want your elements to go, it'll tell you that it can't do it. So once you've done that, you then click on this particular Add Elements button, and we're back to our familiar screen where we can add some elements. In this particular case, I'm going to add a testimonial, just for something to do. That's the one I want. So I'll click that, and if I look at my page now, there's my testimonial right in here. If I want to know what that looks like, I can click that, and there it is. Okay. And that concludes a brief tutorial on how to create a splash page.